1 year ago, this old house of ours didn't have a bathroom. We had a toilet in the middle of what was our office. No door, no walls, just a screen for privacy. We made do like that for over a year, while we focused on other things, like raising our 3 kids, learning a new language, and finding our place in a new country.
Then one summer holidays, while Becca's family was staying with us, we realised we had a few pairs of extra hands, and a pair of arms much bigger and stronger than my own. So we dove in head first with big plans for not just a new bathroom, but a total remodel of our old longère. We installed a new set of stairs, replaced some old rotting beams with new sturdy ones, and removed half the wall of our living room, opening the space up entirely.
We probably should have emptied the living room first.
After a strong start, Beck's parents had to leave, so we were left on our own to continue. We drew up some plans for what would become our new kitchen, living room, and bathroom. Spoiler alert, almost all of these plans have changed, but the bathroom did not. Still firmly in demolition mode, we removed the rest of the old cladding, patched up holes in the broken walls, pulled up the old floor, and took many trips to the déchetterie. We sealed up the old walls with render, took out the front of the house, and got ready to level the floor between the 2 spaces.
Does he know when to stop? Oh, wow.
As mentioned, we have 3 kids, so yes, we got footprints in the concrete.
It's so lovely to be in the space now and get a feel for what it's going to be like when it's finished.
After raising the sunken living room, we cut into the floor and laid all of the plumbing for the new bathtub and bathroom sink. Now, because we didn't know that the plans would change yet, we also laid plumbing for a laundry and kitchen. As we progressed, so did the seasons, and it wasn't long before we were battling the weather as well as the house. We had intense rain and storms, we had trees coming down, and the river decided to break its banks and make its way onto our front lawn.
It hasn't always been easy. There are days we feel like we're underwater, and then there are days when we are literally underwater, but all the rest, those days have been the best of our lives.
This was a great opportunity for us to learn a little about Zen and patience, which was good because we would need plenty more of it with what was about to come. It was time to level the floor, finally connecting the 2 spaces into one. While the floor was drying, we wasted no time and got straight into adding a new window upstairs to bring light into what was formerly an attic space. This was our greatest physical challenge yet, as the stone we chose for the lintel weighed over 100 kilos, close to 200 pounds.
Yes!
These houses are something else, you know.
With the lintel firmly concreted in place, we were able to open up the wall and let light flood into what was formerly a very unusable dark space. We had a new view of the village church, and we could finally see everything that the room could be.
Definitely the best hole that I've ever made in the house.
I distinctly remember finishing off this windows frame, as it's so cool when you get to do something for the 3rd or 4th time, like I'm monocushing here, and you finally start to feel like you're getting the hang of it. I don't ever feel like an expert at what we're doing, but we are deeply invested in doing things right. This is going to be our house forever, and we're going to be connected to every single part of it.
Oh my gosh! It fits, it's perfect. I'm just over the moon.
We set aside all the stone from this window project, so we could use it again in our favourite project of the year, which you'll get to see in a minute. Now that the floor was dry, we discovered that things had not gone according to plan. The product we used was supposed to self-level perfectly flat across both rooms, but instead it had somehow held on to the ripples that go in at the final stage of the pouring process. The entire floor was bumpy like a mountain range. We tried sanding it by hand at first, probably foolishly, and eventually needed to hire a grinder to take the whole top down. We have now ground, polished, sanded, and finished this floor more times than I can count. But we're actually really happy with the final result. Would we do it again the same way? Absolutely not. But this floor has texture and colour, and it has stories, and we wouldn't change it for the world. With the floor finally finished, our custom doors and windows were ready to go in, so we could seal up the hole in the side of our house, which had been open for about 5 months at this point. This was an urgent project, as the temperatures had dropped below freezing. Churchill said that we shape our buildings and then they shape us. And this house, built over 100 years ago, continues to work its magic, shaping us to be more thoughtful, more committed, and more patient as we try to shape her in return. This was a strange moment in the renovation, as we didn't feel like we had a whole lot to show despite the amount of work that had been done. But with the space sealed up, we could finally make some more visible progress as I installed the walls that would make us a bathroom and change the shape of our downstairs living space forever. We probably had to spend as much time researching as we did actually renovating for this part, so we got to learn all about French wiring and plumbing regulations. We also used sound dampening insulation and plasterboard. If you're watching this and you're planning on using sound dampening plasterboard, please don't move the sheets by yourself. They're very, very heavy, and my elbows are still not happy with me for all the ones that I did move.
We had said at the start of this renovation that we wanted to be done by Christmas.
So we've got 2.5 months, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That shows just how little we knew going into this. As it was now a couple of months after Christmas and we had solidly missed that deadline, we started thinking about the upcoming summer and moved outside. This was the project where we could finally use all the stone we'd set aside from within the walls. We always knew that we wanted a large veggie garden to be the centrepiece of our front yard, so we set about building one. Or set about building 4 to be exact. Building the garden beds was the most fun that we've had during this renovation, spending all that time outside together all spring and creating a magical space. It was such a labour of love. There was so much work that went into this, but we were incredibly keen to get it done in time for summer, so we worked until the streetlights went out. And then worked a little more. With the garden beds built, we needed something for the plants to climb up and over, and I'd always wanted to learn to weld, so this was the perfect opportunity. We created 2 garden arches and 7 obelisks for our tomatoes to grow inside. We got to spend all summer enjoying the bounties of Beck's beautiful planting and trying to convince ourselves that we hadn't made the garden beds slightly misaligned, but we could lie no more and needed to take them apart and fix them.
It turns out measuring things is not my strong suit.
This renovation project has been an incredible lesson in life being about the journey and not the destination. But when you do reach these pit stops along the way, they are incredibly beautiful and a lovely place to hang out. We kept saying that we'd be back into the house project soon, but we were having way too much fun outside. So we drew another circle on the lawn, dug a very big hole, and proceeded to build an outdoor lounge in it. Again inspired by recycling some of the stone that was formerly in our walls. The centerpiece of the outdoor lounge was this amazing old cooking pot with a chimney. Now with the outdoor lounge and our garden in full bloom, we really felt like we'd created a little slice of paradise. And with the fire pit and the lights, it was even better at night. With all the time spent outside, away from our main project, it was about now that our plans completely changed. And what was going to be a kitchen and living room would now become the master suite with an ensuite. But for the near future, this was still going to be our only bathroom, so it was absolutely critical that we get back into it and get it finished. Our design aesthetic is very closely aligned with Wabi Sabi.
Or I should say Beck's design aesthetic, because I am definitely not the stylish one in this relationship.
Wabi Sabi.
Wabi Sabi, and it's about finding the beauty in things that aren't perfect and natural lines, textures and colours. So
in keeping with this theme, the centrepiece for our bathroom was going to be a custom-made sink from locally cut limestone to match the rest of our house. I made a 3D design and took it round to our local stone cutter, Fabien, who put it into this amazing machine which cut it precisely to measure. It was so satisfying to watch. We're keeping all the wall finishings simple, with slight natural textures but very minimal colour, like white micro cement for the walls and grey tiles for all the wet areas. We have been incredibly lucky to make some wonderful new friends in our time here in France. One of whom is Akim, who volunteered to tile the shower area in our bathroom with his crew. and the speed and precision with which the guys got those tiles on the wall absolutely blew us away. Thanks again, Akim. This meant that we could finally bring in the antique bathtub that we restored. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know that restoring the bathtub has been one of the most painful challenges we've faced. More than once, we had to start over and strip it back to the bare metal to begin again.
It's like still rusty under there, look. What the hell happened?
It had one last surprise in store for us, which set us back about a week.
But tiny bits of fluff have got all over it, all over the final coat when it was this close to being done. So I have to sand it back and start again.
Watching Akim and his crew put the tiles in was the best learning experience I could have asked for. And that's good because it was my turn next. Tiling is something that has made me more nervous than any other part of this renovation. And after watching the professionals do it, I felt both more and less prepared. With a little bit of help, things actually went pretty smoothly, and we're really happy with how the tiles turned out. With the sink area ready, I had to put my new welding skills to the test and build a frame that could support a couple of 100 kilos of stone.
Now, we got a few concerned comments when we installed the lintel by ourselves about the potential danger of carrying huge hunks of stone on our own. If any of those people are watching, you might want to skip the next part.
Installing the sink was an absolute mission. Bex and I could not lift it between us, and even with the two of us, we could only lift one half at a time. So it was a lot of shimmying and slowly raising one side and then the other.
Yeah, baby, you need to go.
We were absolutely heartbroken to find out that somewhere in this process we had lost a couple of millimeters and the sink was too big for the space it was meant to go in.
Like I said, measuring things is not my strong suit.
Well, what are we doing?
What do you mean, what are we doing? Where are we even going? If we cracked a tile, I'd cry, I think.
Yeah.
No, I'm actually pretty sure that this is because I put the adhesive on a little thick when I did the tiling.
We had no choice but to persevere, so we made the bathroom dusty one more time and I cut the edge off. This made the sink just the right size to get where it needed to go.
Oh! Okay. 2, 3.
Oh! Oh my god!
At this point, the bathroom was starting to look like a bathroom. And if you've seen our recent videos, you know we installed lights, a power supply, some hot water. Plus, we had the opportunity to restore some beautiful old oak slabs that were going to waste and turn them into some really special accessories and storage fittings for the bathroom.
And now we've got just a few important pieces of the bathroom left. It's been a huge year with lots of ups and downs, but if there is any hope of us finishing the bathroom renovation before this Christmas, we've got about a week to do it. So let's go. All of the woodwork that we did last week was really just a warm-up for the big project this week. The final few things that we need in the bathroom. And if we cannot get what we need out of these pieces of wood, I don't really have a plan B. Hey.
I got you some cake.
Yay, thank you.
Have you earned it?
I think so. The more work that we do on this house, the more that we want to look after it. So we were really excited when REOLINK sent us the Argus 4K security camera to try out, and I'm going to install it now. It's talking to me in so many languages right now. Okay, I genuinely can't believe how quick and easy that was to set up. Now I just need to install the app because that's telling me to do that in many, many languages. Connection succeeded. Whoa, there I am. And that was it. That took me about 10 minutes total to install, including the 5 minutes to download the app. And you can see the entire front yard. The really cool thing about this is that it gives you a 180-degree view, so it doesn't have to move, and you can see the entire space in front of it, so you don't miss anything. There are no blind spots. It also has full color vision at night, which is really handy because at the moment it's getting dark at about 5 o'clock, so most of the day is at night. Hello?
Hello?
Whoa! Okay, so you can make it talk too. Check it out. If you'd like to try a REOLINK security camera, you'll find a discount code in the description.
Oh, this is gonna take a while. Because of the size of these pieces of wood, I couldn't fit them through the jointer planer to smooth them off as I had done with the others, which meant that I had to sand both sides of each piece individually, and I am just so glad that we had a sunny day for me to do it. While it was hours of work, it was actually lovely being outside that whole time.
Alright, Becca. Come here and help me choose how high this shelf should be.
While I'm the one that builds most of the stuff, I'm definitely not qualified to make these sort of decisions.
Yeah. Cool. Alright. Easy. So that height. Yeah. Perfect.
I remember as a kid, when I was helping my dad build things around the house, he would always let me countersink the holes for the screws, because at that point, there's very little that can go wrong. And I remember that every time I countersink a screw hole. So even these ones, which are not going to be visible, are getting countersunk. That's for you, Dad. Getting all of these pieces to fit in here around the frame has taken some serious thought and pre-planning. There are so many little angles and notches that I've had to cut to make it all work together. I wasn't even certain that it was going to all work until right about now. And that's so satisfying.
It's cool.
When I built this steel frame, I said that it would be almost completely hidden. And this is the final piece that makes that happen. We are so stoked to have been able to save some of this oak and give it a chance to be beautiful again.
How you going?
Yeah, good. Look. This was a big old slab of oak a few minutes ago.
Did you make... Wow!
I made planks.
Those are beautiful.
Well, they will be soon. Just got to get them through the thicknesser and they'll be all cleaned up nice.
It's very impressive you got that out of...
They're pretty uniform, right?
Yeah.
Soon it'll be a bathroom cabinet. I actually did extras because it was just going so well.
Just keep going. Yeah. I made 50 planks!
I made all the planks!
No mirror, but 50 planks!
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. There are only so many angles from which to shoot sanding, and this is not a great one, so we've skipped ahead, and it's all done. Speaking of angles though, the 45 degree that I'm about to cut is something I'm very excited about. I've always wanted to make this, and it makes me feel like a real woodworker, and also really French. It's a French cleat, or, as we call them here in France, a cleat.
So do you have another bit that you're going to put on the back down the bottom here so it doesn't sit on the wall like...
No.
that?
So I've cut this so that it actually sits within the cabinet. So this sits inside the outside edges.
Really?
Yeah, so when we slot it on,
It's going to be flush.
it should be flush with the wall.
Oh, that's even better than I've seen before. I love your attention to detail on everything that you've made for this bathroom. We could have made it much easier for ourselves.
Really? Damn, I didn't know that was an option.
We could have bought everything already made.
Yeah.
You could have just made a French cleat that sat on the outside.
Where's the fun in that?
You've made everything. Everything that could be made has been made. Everything that could be upcycled has been upcycled.
Aww.
It's silly getting emotional over a bathroom, but it's like the start of the whole house.
Yeah, we're kind of starting how we want to continue. We're going to make every room perfect and special. And oh my god, I look ridiculous.
Oh,
We're going
so
to
much
make
better.
every room perfect and special. And yeah, we're going to do our best. Always.
We had the mirror for the bathroom picked out a long time ago, but it wasn't until recently that we had any idea how we were going to mount it or add a cabinet.
That's awesome.
Perfect, hey?
Yeah, it's really good looking.
Can we go
Hold it back up?
Can we hold it up in the bathroom?
Yeah, no.
Hold it? 'Cause
Yeah, it's good looking.
Can you hold it? I really don't want to drop this.
So you want me to hold it? Okay.
Yeah, it's a really... It's from the From when did he say? Oh yeah, look.
1965. Old school.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's in good shape. And we're going to put a wee frame along the bottom, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. This is our final plank that we were able to save from next door, and our final woodworking project for the bathroom. And I'm hoping that I can get a door frame out of this last piece to really finish everything off. I believe I'm saying that, finish everything off. This bathroom's been a project for my whole life at this point. I can't remember the before times. It's gonna be finished, like soon. Working with timber like this is quite crazy because like we just got one perfect post out and now it's wide enough here to get another perfect post out, but very quickly it's not wide enough anymore. It becomes way too narrow up there with the live edge. Fortunately, the next piece that I need is just about this long, so we can get one more out. It's been so rare so far in this project for us to get to do the same thing over and over again. Maybe with the garden, but not with the bathroom. And so it's really nice with the timber. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it. Things are working and going as expected. It's okay. Shouldn't have said that. I've just jinxed it, haven't I? Touch wood. The saw's not working. Unbelievable. It's done. Table saw is just a table now. In keeping with the minimal vibe of our bathroom, we really wanted to have a sliding door with no visible hardware, so it kind of looked like magic, and I thought I had come up with a pretty clever solution using some heavy-duty drawer slides. But this is the moment where I realise that that plan was not in fact going to pan out. So, on to plan B. We had to get a standard sliding door rail, and I'm just going to do my best to hide it as well as possible afterwards. I'm honestly gutted this didn't work, because this is such a nice smooth slide. And yeah, I just miscalculated the amount of weight that it could hold on its own, because it comes in a set of two made for drawers, and so I halved the amount of weight that it could carry. And while it can technically carry that weight, it just had sag. There was no value for sag that I could take into account, so it's no go. I've now got 2 very heavy drawer slides I will absolutely find another use for. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for cool projects that involve big old slides. Woohoo! Now it's not tight yet, so it could fall off at any moment. But it works!
Could fall off at any moment.
Do you like it?
Oh, I can't see it.
Yeah, it's pretty dark, eh?
Very
Go and
dark.
look at the other side.
Yeah.
The other side's perfectly well lit.
Pretty door, isn't
You
it?
can't see the holes in the top of it, can you?
Oh, yeah.
You can't! Don't you dare. I am not to be messed with right now. I'm a man on the edge. I was just thinking, because I've had a lot of time to think while I've done this.
Have you? I wouldn't have thought you'd have any time to think.
My thought was that while I'm really gutted that our original plan didn't work, because I do think it would have been super special to have just completely invisible hardware, kind of magic sliding door, these just don't want to tighten. I really liked the fact that you said, like, oh well, it was worth a try, instead of like, why did we try something so random and stupid, and why didn't we just use normal hardware from the start? You were right there with me and fully supported me trying to hold a door with a drawer slider.
Yeah,
And you believed in it, and I just thought that was really nice. I really appreciate it. Do you want to tighten these? Because I'm not having any luck. All right, Becca, do you want to give it a test? I'll be the wall. But
wow.
oh my god, that's so scary.
Oh my gosh.
Ah!
Is that straight? It doesn't.
No, the weight of the mirror pulling down this side has made all of the shelves wonky.
Are you sure?
The solution to this problem turned out to be quite simple. I added a couple of corner supports inside the cabinet and everything turned out fine.
What? Do you mind? Is that supposed to be an electrocution noise? That was terrible! In an emergency,
didn't-
you need to know.
No, I needed to study, so I know nothing.
Take a guess. You've got neutral, live and ground. Okay?
Ground would be orange.
There's green.
Live.
There's green and yellow, blue and brown. There's no orange.
The brown one is ground.
The brown one is ground?
Yeah.
Okay, what's live?
The yellow one.
The yellow one, and then neutral must be
Blue
blue.
one.
Okay. Don't let Becca do your wiring. They're supposed to be colourblind accessible, so that's why they're really weird colours and why they're changed, why they used to be different colours.
So colourblind people can tell them apart.
Can still be electricians.
It's inclusive, isn't it?
It is. You couldn't, but a colourblind
I
person
get them
could.
all wrong. 100% incorrect.
Ah! Hold the stool. We both screamed that time. That changed. Oh! Take the screwdriver. Let go of the thing. Oh! Oh god. Oh! We did it! We did it!
Over a year in the making,
I really wasn't sure how I was going to feel when we finally finished this bathroom. But after this last intense week and the struggles that I had with the sliding door, I was just completely exhausted.
That's it. It's done. We made it.
I'm sure we'll love it tomorrow though.
Yay! We have a bathroom! And it's not just any bathroom, it is really the most beautiful bathroom I've ever seen.
Aww.
And it's made out of stone and metal, and children aren't going to break it. And we're going to be able to enjoy it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. It's bath time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks so much for sticking around. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see everything else that we have in store for this beautiful property, subscribe and we'll see you at the next video.